the beginning after the end of shows like this, and by like this I mean like isekai or reincarnation or like whatever the stuff, their past lives really don't come into matter most of the time, or just not at all. Sometimes in mangas I recently read, like the most things that happen is like, oh, they just remember like, oh well, I read this novel, so this is what I'm gonna do. And sometimes their true personality from like how they were in Korea before they got reincarnated into the actual world would actually sometimes be affected. But like that's mostly much that's happened. You really don't get a situation where the main character goes and tells his new family like, hey, so this is not my first time being alive, so this is my second time going around. And this is how we end up in the situation where after Lewin's at talking to his parents about like, hey, so I was reborn in this world with you guys. Okay, so in the two illustration chapter and beginning after the end, Arthur actually tells his parents that he's reincarnated from this world, and which is important because usually isekais, we don't usually see basically the main character telling other people that they're reincarnated. That's usually things to themselves, or if the isekai is not that serious in itself. But Arthur actually goes ahead, tells his parents and everything, but as you expect, they just don't believe him. Then Arthur has to go through explaining in great detail so they would believe him. And afterwards, we see that the mother does not take it so well, to a point where she's freaking out. Then Arthur and Reynolds has to leave the mom alone so she can just calm down, and they have their own talk. And I think, oh, Reynolds is taking this very well. Well, he's not taking it that well. Well, fair enough, you just found out your son's not really your son, but is your son. Which, for me, in my opinion, I kind of feel like this is their son, because I feel like if Arthur's reincarnation process was probably stopped, the baby would have come out like stillborn, like dead, a miscarriage, the baby like died in the process. But like, I guess they don't see it that way. They see it as like, well, they see it as possibly like, oh, Arthur took the place of their son. And Reynolds saying, was this all fake to you? And it wasn't fake to me, actually. Well, it wasn't fake to Arthur because he actually enjoyed the time with his family and considers them family. But as he's talking, he kind of regrets telling them because of the vision it causes, but he just didn't feel like, he didn't want to keep lying to them. And he felt like this is kind of appropriate because he is leaving soon for the training he's preparing for the war. And after Arthur heads off to a new continent, we see some extra panels of his mom and dad talking it out, and we can see after Arthur telling them the entire revelation, they're not even referring to Arthur as their son, they're just referring to Arthur as Arthur. And his mom points out like, can you see we're not even referring to him as a son anymore? And Ronald says, can you please not say that? He is our son. And I'm just hoping by the time he comes back, this is water under a bridge, but like, I don't think it's gonna be that easy. But at least they didn't tell the sister and keep her out of this, because that would make things even more complicated. But until then, see you guys next time.